For almost 3 years, everyone at Westbridge University knew I liked Chloe Bennett. Everyone except Chloe, apparently. Or maybe she knew better than anyone. "Ethan, are you seriously driving her home again?" Daniel asked as I grabbed my keys. "She has an evening class. She also has a car. It's being repaired. And Uber exists." I sighed. "What's your point?" "My point is you've spent 3 years acting like her boyfriend without getting the boyfriend part. She needs time." Daniel stared at me. "You always say that." "Because it's true." "No. Because it hurts less than admitting she likes having you around when it's convenient." I hated when Daniel sounded reasonable. Chloe called before I could answer. "Ethan, hey. Please tell me you remembered Sophia's party tonight." I remembered. "And you're coming?" "Yes." "Good. Pick me up at 8. Daniel mouthed. "See?" I turned away. "Sure. You're the best." The call ended. Daniel laughed. "What?" "She didn't ask if you were free. She knows I am." That is exactly the problem. I ignored him. I had spent years believing patience would eventually mean something. I helped Chloe with assignments, brought soup when she was sick, remembered the exact cake she liked on birthdays, and canceled plans whenever she needed me. Sometimes it felt like we were already together. Then someone would ask, "Are you two dating?" Chloe would laugh. "Ethan is just Ethan." I always smiled with everyone else. Those 4 words hurt every time. That night, I picked Chloe up exactly at 8. She looked beautiful in a black dress. "You're staring," she said. "Sorry." She smiled. "You can say I look nice." "You look amazing." "I know." I laughed. She glanced at me. "You're quiet tonight." Daniel annoyed me. "What did he say?" "Nothing important." "Was it about me?" I looked at her. "Why would you assume that?" "Because Daniel thinks I'm evil." "He doesn't. He looks at me like I stole his favorite dog." I laughed again. "He thinks I let people take advantage of me." Her smile faded slightly. "Do you think I take advantage of you?" The question surprised me. "No." "Good." She relaxed immediately. I noticed that. Sophia's apartment was already crowded when we arrived. "Birthday girl," Chloe shouted. Sophia hugged her, then looked at me. "And Chloe's loyal driver." "Happy birthday, Sophia." "I'm kidding, Ethan." "I know." Ryan appeared beside us holding a drink. "Parker, still serving as Bennett's unpaid chauffeur. Still talking too much, Carter?" He grinned. Chloe laughed. Normally, hearing her laugh at Ryan's jokes bothered me. Tonight, Daniel's words stayed in my head. Convenient rather than important. An hour later, Sophia clapped loudly. "Everyone, Chloe has a game." I looked toward Chloe. She smiled brightly. "It's simple. Perfect match." Ryan groaned dramatically. "Sounds dangerous." "That's why you'll love it." Sophia asked, "Rules?" "Every single guy chooses one girl here he'd actually date." Someone shouted, "And the girls? We get to accept or reject." Laughter filled the room. My stomach tightened. Ryan leaned close. "This is going to be brutal." "What?" He nodded toward Chloe. "You know everyone is waiting for your turn." I finally understood. Chloe already knew what I would say. Everyone did. I would choose her. She would laugh, maybe touch my arm, and say something gentle enough to avoid looking cruel. "Ethan, you know I love you, but not like that." Maybe tonight she planned to make it final. Ryan whispered, "At least make your speech short." I looked at him. "You think I'm choosing Chloe?" He nearly laughed. "Who else?" The game started. Guys chose girls. Some answers caused cheers. Others caused teasing. Then Sophia pointed at me. "Ethan Parker." The room changed. People turned toward Chloe before I even stood. She crossed her arms and smiled. That smile told me everything. She was waiting for the performance. I stood slowly. Ryan whispered loudly, "Biggest mystery of the century." People laughed. Chloe shook her head. "Be nice, Ryan. You already know his answer." She looked at me. "Well, Ethan." For years, I had imagined Chloe finally choosing me. Suddenly, I wondered why I had spent so long waiting for permission to matter. I looked around the room. Then I saw Scarlett Hayes near the balcony. She stood alone in a dark red dress, watching the city lights through the glass. Scarlett was beautiful enough that half the campus had probably tried asking her out. She was also distant enough that most had failed. Sophia smiled impatiently. "Come on, Ethan. Choose." Chloe tilted her head. Our eyes met. For once, I didn't see possibility. I saw certainty. She believed I belonged exactly where she had left me. Waiting. Ryan chuckled. "Say Chloe so we can move on." Something inside me finally refused. I lifted my hand. Chloe straightened, but I pointed past her, toward the balcony. The laughter stopped. Scarlett turned. Her eyes found mine. Sophia blinked. Ryan stared at me. Chloe's smile disappeared. I heard someone whisper, "No way." Sophia asked, "Wait. Who are you choosing?" My heart hammered, but I wasn't embarrassed. Chloe stepped forward. "Scarlett." "Yes." "You're serious?" "I am." Ryan laughed once, but it sounded uncertain. "Man, you know this game isn't fantasy football, right?" I heard the rules. Sophia covered her mouth, enjoying the chaos. Chloe didn't. "You could choose anyone here." "I know." "And you chose her?" "That's what I said." Her eyes narrowed. "Why?" That question almost made me laugh. For years, Chloe had never asked why I chose her. My attention had existed, like something permanent. Now one answer demanded an explanation. I shrugged. "Because I wanted to." Ryan said, "Scarlett will reject you in 5 seconds." "Maybe. And you're okay with that?" "Yes." That answer surprised even me. Rejection suddenly seemed less humiliating than spending a year begging for someone to notice what I gave them. I looked toward Scarlett. I kept my eyes on Scarlett. For the first time in 3 years, my answer felt completely mine. Her. The room stayed silent after I pointed toward Scarlett. Then Sophia laughed. She bent forward and grabbed Chloe's arm. "Scarlett Hayes." "That's what I said." Sophia wiped her eyes. "Ethan, come on." "What?" "You don't have to do this." "Do what?" "Pretend you chose the most impossible woman here because you're scared Chloe will reject you." Ryan laughed beside her. "Exactly. At least choose someone who might actually say yes." I looked at him. Was that part of the rules? No, but basic survival should be. Scarlett remained near the balcony, watching us quietly. Ryan raised his glass toward me. "Parker, Scarlett wouldn't look twice at you." "Maybe she won't." "You're really going through with this?" I already answered. Chloe finally laughed. "Okay, Ethan. Very funny." I turned toward her. "What's funny?" Her smile weakened. "This. You choosing Scarlett." "Why?" "Because everyone knows." "Knows what?" She glanced around the room. Ryan answered for her. "That you've been following Chloe around like a lovesick puppy for 3 years." My face warmed, but I refused to look away. "That doesn't answer my question." Chloe folded her arms. "Why Scarlett?" "She's attractive." Sophia laughed again. "So is every model on Instagram. Doesn't mean they'll date you." "Enough, Sophia." The sharpness in Chloe's voice surprised everyone. Sophia blinked. "What?" I said enough. "You were laughing too." "It's getting mean." Sophia stared at her. Ryan smirked. "Someone's bothered." Chloe snapped. "I'm not bothered." She noticed. "What?" "Nothing." "No, Ethan. Say it." "You seem pretty interested in my answer." "Because it makes no sense." "It makes perfect sense." "Then explain it." 3 years of waiting suddenly felt embarrassing, but not because I had loved her. I was embarrassed because I had accepted being laughed at for loving her. "You asked who I'd date," I said. "Yes." "Not who I've wasted years chasing." Chloe's face changed. "Wasted?" "Yes." "You think liking me was a waste?" "I think chasing someone who never intended to choose me was." "I never asked you to chase me." "I know." "Then don't blame me." "I'm not." "You sound like you are." "I made that choice." "I'm stopping now." Sophia whispered, "Wow." Chloe turned on her. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. You've been laughing for 5 minutes." "Because this whole thing is crazy." "No. You think it's funny because you expected him to choose me." "So did you." Chloe froze. I saw the answer in her face. She had expected it. That was why the game existed. Ryan stepped between the tension with another joke. "Can we remember Scarlett hasn't actually agreed to anything?" Ethan pointed at Mount Everest. "That doesn't mean he climbed it." I looked toward the balcony. Scarlett was gone. Ryan noticed too. "There. She escaped." Sophia covered another laugh. "Poor Ethan." "Stop," Chloe said. Sophia frowned. "Why do you care?" "I don't." "You clearly do." "I just don't like everyone attacking him." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Since when?" Before Chloe could answer, I heard heels behind me. I turned. Scarlett was walking directly toward us. My stomach tightened. She stopped in front of me. "Ethan, right?" "Yes." She nodded toward the group. "Does your answer still count if I say yes?" I stared at her. "What? You chose me. I'm accepting." Ryan nearly choked. Sophia's mouth fell open. I lowered my voice. "You don't have to do this." Scarlett tilted her head. "Do what?" "Save me." "Who said I'm saving you?" "I appreciate it, but I can handle being embarrassed." "I know." "Then why?" She glanced toward Sophia and Ryan. Because I hate watching people turn someone's feelings into entertainment. She continued quietly. You look like the only person here who wasn't enjoying the joke. I wasn't. I noticed. Chloe stepped closer. Scarlett, it was just a game. Scarlett looked at her. I know. Nobody was trying to hurt Ethan. Scarlett didn't. Really? Yes. Your friend called him a lovesick puppy. Ryan jokes about everyone. And Sophia laughed because she thought Ethan wasn't good enough for me. Sophia said, that's not what I meant. Scarlett looked at her. What did you mean? Sophia suddenly became interested in her drink. Chloe exhaled. This is getting ridiculous. Scarlett asked, why? Because you're turning a harmless party game into some moral lecture. I didn't. You basically accused us of humiliating him. Were you? No. I looked at Chloe. She avoided my eyes. Scarlett noticed. If it was harmless, why did everyone already know Ethan was supposed to choose you? Chloe stiffened. That wasn't planned. Sophia said nothing. Ryan looked away. Scarlett continued. And why did you keep asking why he chose me? Because it was unexpected. Unexpected or disappointing. Chloe's eyes flashed. You don't know anything about Ethan and me. Scarlett nodded. That's true. Then don't act like you do. I don't need to. What does that mean? Scarlett's voice remained calm. It means I'm not asking about your history. She glanced at me, then back at Chloe. I'm asking about tonight. Chloe crossed her arms. Fine. Scarlett stepped closer to me. Ethan made his choice. Yes. And you said this was only a game. It is. Then smile. Chloe stared at her. Scarlett waited. Nobody laughed now. I could hear the music from the other room and the quiet clink of someone's glass. Chloe forced a smile. There. Happy. Scarlett shook her head. Not really. Then what exactly do you want? Scarlett asked the question I had been too afraid to ask myself. If this game was harmless, then why are you angry he didn't choose you? Chloe opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Sophia looked down. Ryan stopped smiling. I stared at Chloe, waiting for the answer. For 3 years, I had always been the one left speechless around her. Tonight, for the first time, Chloe had nothing to say. I understood her silence mattered more than any rejection she had ever given me. This time, I had stepped outside the place she expected me to stay. 2 days after Sophia's party, I sat across from Scarlett in a small cafe near campus. I still owe you a thank you. You've thanked me 4 times. I know. 5 now. I laughed. Sorry. Scarlett stirred her coffee. You really thought I was rescuing you? Weren't you? No. Then why say yes? Because I wanted coffee. With me? She smiled. Your confidence needs serious medical attention. I spent 3 years chasing Chloe. That probably damaged it. At least you're self-aware. I expected Scarlett to be difficult to talk to. On campus, she always looked distant. Instead, she was funny. Dangerously funny. So, I said, how many guys have chosen you during party games? Thousands. Seriously? No, Ethan. I laughed. She leaned back. People assume strange things about me. Because you're popular? Because I'm attractive. I nearly choked. She smiled. What? Should I pretend I don't know? No. That was just direct. I prefer direct. Clearly. She looked through the window. Guys meet me and decide what kind of person I am before I speak. What kind? Shallow. Difficult. Spoiled. Sometimes stupid. You don't seem stupid. Beautiful compliment. I meant. I know. Someone approached our table. Scarlett. I looked up. A woman with long auburn hair stood beside us. Emma, Scarlett said, this is Ethan. Emma studied me. The party guy? That sounds terrible. Scarlett laughed. Yes. Emma sat briefly. So you're the wounded man Scarlett rescued. I thought that too. I didn't rescue him, Scarlett said. Emma raised an eyebrow. You have a habit. Not today. Emma looked at me. Are you still in love with Chloe? Scarlett nearly dropped her cup. Emma. What? You like direct. There's direct, then there's interrogation. Emma waited. I could have lied. Instead, I said, I don't know. Scarlett became quiet. I continued. I liked Chloe for almost 3 years. That doesn't disappear because of one bad night. Emma nodded. Good answer. Really, honest answer. Scarlett looked at me. So you still have feelings for her? Some. And you're having coffee with me? Yes. Why? Because I wanted to. A small smile appeared. Emma stood. I approve slightly more now. Thanks, I think. She looked at Scarlett. Just don't rescue another wounded man. I heard you the first time. After Emma left, I said, she's terrifying. She's protective. I noticed. Scarlett studied me. You could have lied. About Chloe? Yes. I don't want to. Good. You're not bothered? I'd be bothered if you pretended she meant nothing. That answer stayed with me. The following morning, I walked past the campus cafe. Chloe stood outside. Ethan. I stopped. Morning. She looked at my hands. Where's my coffee? I blinked. Your coffee? You always bring one on Tuesdays. Oh. Her eyebrows rose. Oh. I forgot. You never forget. I guess I did today. She stared at me strangely. Were you with Scarlett? No. Did you see her yesterday? Yes. Her expression sharpened. Where? We had coffee. You actually went. She said, yes, at the party. I thought that was just to defend you. So did I. And it wasn't. Chloe folded her arms. Interesting. I smiled. See you later. Wait. What? Are you coming to the library tonight? I have plans. You always help me with statistics. I sent you my notes. But I need help. Ask Ryan. Her mouth opened slightly. Ryan doesn't understand statistics. Then asked the tutor. I walked away. That night, Chloe called at 12:30. I was asleep. I answered the next morning. You called 8 hours ago. I was sleeping. You always answer. I was tired. She went silent. Is something wrong? No. You sound annoyed. I'm not. Okay. Ethan. Yes. Are you dating Scarlett? No. Do you want to? I barely know her. That isn't an answer. I smiled despite myself. Why do you care? I don't. Then we're good. 3 days later, Chloe appeared outside my computer science lecture. What are you doing here? Waiting. For you. That was new. Why? She shrugged. Thought we could get lunch. I already have plans. With Scarlett? Yes. Her jaw tightened. She seems to take up a lot of your time. We've had coffee twice. 3 times. I stared at her. How do you know? Sophia saw you yesterday. Right. Sophia appeared behind Chloe. I also told her she sounds jealous. Chloe turned. I'm not jealous. Sophia laughed. You've asked about Scarlett every day. Because I don't want Ethan getting used. I almost laughed. Used for what? Attention. Scarlett doesn't need my attention. Everyone likes attention. Sophia muttered. Including you. Chloe snapped. Whose side are you on? There aren't sides. I left before another argument started. That afternoon, Scarlett and I walked downtown after lunch. You're distracted, she said. Chloe. Of course. She thinks you're using me. Scarlett laughed. For what? I asked the same thing. We reached a crowded crossing. People pushed around us as the signal changed. Come on, Scarlett said. Before I could respond, she took my hand. It felt natural. Warm. Simple. Halfway across, I saw Chloe standing on the opposite sidewalk with Sophia. Her eyes dropped to our joined hands. She stopped completely. Scarlett noticed. Problem? No. You sure? Yes. For once, I kept walking. Scarlett released my hand after we crossed. That night, my phone buzzed. Chloe. I stared at her message. For 3 years, I had imagined receiving words like these. I thought they would make my heart race. Instead, they made me nervous. The message read, Can we talk about us? I read it again. Us. There had never been an us when I wanted one. Now that I was finally walking away, Chloe had decided there might be. I met Chloe the next afternoon at the quiet cafe behind the library. She was already sitting near the window when I arrived. You came. You asked to talk. She pushed a cup toward me. I ordered your usual. I looked at it. Once, I would have treated that detail like proof she cared. Thanks. Chloe watched me sit. You didn't answer my message properly. I said we could talk. You know what I meant. Then tell me. She looked down. Are you serious about Scarlett? I don't know yet. That fast. What does that mean? You've known her for days. And you've known me for years. I leaned back. Chloe, you said there was no us. I know. You laughed whenever people suggested it. I know. You planned that game because you wanted me to choose you. Her fingers tightened around her cup. Who told you? Nobody had to. She looked away. I waited. Finally, she whispered. Ryan said your feelings were becoming embarrassing. I felt my chest tighten. Embarrassing for whom? For me. I laughed once. She flinched. So the game was a setup. I wanted to end things clearly. What things? We weren't dating. You know what I mean. No. Explain it. She rubbed her forehead. Everyone knew you liked me. Ryan kept saying I was encouraging you by letting you drive me places and help me. You were. Her eyes snapped toward mine. What? You knew how I felt. Yes. And you kept calling me whenever you needed something. I thought we were friends. Friends don't arrange public rejection games. I made a mistake. No, Chloe. You made a plan. Then she said, I thought you'd choose me. I know. I thought I'd reject you. You'd finally understand. And eventually we'd go back to normal. I stared at her. Normal? You being my friend. You mean me still being available? That isn't fair, isn't it? I never asked you to do everything. No. You just knew I would. She said nothing. That silence answered more than words. I leaned forward. Why did you message me after seeing Scarlett hold my hand? Chloe swallowed. I didn't like it. Why? I don't know. Try. She looked frustrated. Because it felt wrong. What felt wrong? You with her. Why? Because you're. She stopped. I'm what? Her voice dropped. You were always mine. I stared at her. She immediately shook her head. That came out wrong. No. I think it came out perfectly. Ethan, please. Did you love me? I cared about you. That wasn't my question. I don't know what love is supposed to feel like. You seemed sure you didn't want me before. I thought you'd always be there. The words hit harder than the laughter at the party. Because they were honest. I stood. Thank you. She looked alarmed. For what? For finally telling me the truth. Ethan, sit down. I spent years thinking I wasn't good enough to make you choose me. I never said that. You didn't need to. She reached for my wrist, but I stepped back. You don't miss me, Chloe. You miss knowing I'd always choose you. That isn't true. Then tell me you love me. Her lips parted. Nothing came out. I nodded. That's what I thought. I left. Scarlett called that evening. Coffee. You're developing an addiction. To caffeine or your terrible conversation? Both. We met near campus. She studied my face immediately. You talked to Chloe. How did you know? You look like someone kicked your childhood dog. That's specific. Was I wrong? No. I told her everything. When I finished, Scarlett sighed. I need to say something. Go ahead. I won't be your revenge. I frowned. You aren't. I mean it. If you're spending time with me because it makes Chloe jealous, stop. I'm not. You chose me at that party because you were angry. That part is true. And now? I looked at her. Now I'm here because I like being here. Her expression softened. That's dangerously close to being sweet. Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation to protect too. I smiled. She pointed at me. That's why I keep saying yes. My smile. No. You actually relax around me. She leaned closer. I don't need you to hate Chloe. I don't. Good. I don't want to compete with her ghost. You shouldn't have to. Then don't compare us. I won't. Scarlett held out her hand. Start over. I looked at it. As what? Two people having coffee. Very serious commitment. Terrifying. I met Scarlett outside the student center on Friday, and the first thing she said was, your former obsession is staring at us again. I glanced toward the steps. Chloe immediately looked away. Maybe she likes the architecture. Scarlett laughed. You are terrible at pretending. I'm improving. No, you're not. She hooked her bag over her shoulder. Dinner tonight. Absolutely. Good. Emma says I need proof you eat something besides cafeteria sandwiches. I feel judged. You should. We walked away, but Chloe's attention followed us. By Monday, Sophia found me outside the library. Can we talk? That sounds dangerous. It's about Chloe. Then definitely dangerous. Sophia sighed. She thinks Scarlett is using you. I laughed. For what? She doesn't know. That seems important. She asked me to help look into Scarlett's dating history. I stopped walking. You're serious? I told her this was ridiculous. But you helped. A little. Sophia. I know. I shouldn't have. What did you find? Lucas Morgan pursued Scarlett last year. I shrugged. Okay. You're not bothered? Why would I be? Lucas is rich, popular, and his family owns half the buildings near campus. And Scarlett rejected him. Sophia blinked. You knew? Scarlett told me. That seemed to surprise her. She told you. Yes. Because we talk. Sophia looked embarrassed. I wish Chloe understood that. Understood what? That Scarlett isn't hiding anything. I walked away, hoping the subject was finished. It wasn't. 3 nights later, Sophia invited me to a campus gathering. Scarlett came with me. The moment we entered, I saw Lucas near the kitchen. Then I saw Chloe watching us. Scarlett whispered, This feels suspicious. It does. Lucas noticed her. Scarlett. Lucas. He smiled. Been a while. Not long enough. I coughed to hide my laugh. Lucas looked at me. So the rumors are true. What rumors? You too. Scarlett answered. Apparently. Chloe approached. This is interesting. I looked at her. What is? You and Lucas knowing Scarlett. Scarlett narrowed her eyes. Chloe, what exactly are you doing? Nothing. Lucas laughed. That usually means something. Chloe crossed her arms. I just think Ethan deserves honesty. About? I asked. She looked at Scarlett. About the kind of men you normally date. Scarlett's expression hardened. I don't remember asking you to manage my dating life. Chloe turned to Lucas. You pursued her, right? Lucas nodded. For months. Unfortunately. And she liked the attention? Lucas stared at Chloe. No. The room became quieter. Chloe frowned. But you bought her gifts. She returned them. You took her to expensive restaurants. She refused every invitation. Scarlett muttered. This is humiliating. Lucas looked at me. For me, mostly. Chloe's face tightened. Why did she reject you? Lucas laughed. Because I was an idiot. Nobody spoke. He continued. I treated dating Scarlett like winning something. Scarlett looked surprised by his honesty. I wanted everyone to see that the hottest woman on campus chose me. Chloe glanced at Scarlett. Lucas shook his head. She saw through it immediately. But Ethan? What about Ethan? Chloe swallowed. He isn't your usual type. Scarlett stepped forward. My usual type? Lucas answered before she could. Actually, Chloe, Scarlett talks about Ethan differently than she ever talked about me. My stomach tightened. Chloe stared at him. What does that mean? It means when I asked Scarlett out, she looked bored. When Ethan's name comes up, she smiles. Scarlett covered her face. Lucas. What? I'm helping. You absolutely aren't. I smiled despite myself. Chloe looked at me. Then at Scarlett. Then at Sophia. You knew? Sophia sighed. I knew Scarlett actually liked him. Chloe's voice rose. Why didn't you tell me? Because it shouldn't matter. Everyone went silent. Sophia stepped closer to her. You wanted Ethan to stop loving you. Why are you angry that it worked? Chloe froze. I'm not angry. Yes, you are. I'm protecting him. No. You're trying to prove Scarlett is bad because admitting she genuinely likes Ethan means accepting that Ethan genuinely moved on. Chloe's eyes filled. Stop. You humiliated him. Sophia. You wanted him to leave you alone. I said stop. And now he has. Chloe suddenly shouted. I never thought he'd actually leave. Silence crushed the room. Chloe covered her mouth. Tears slipped down her cheeks. She looked at me. I thought you'd get upset. I thought you'd disappear for a few days. I said nothing. I thought you'd come back. Why? Because you always did. Her answer no longer hurt. It only made me tired. I said, that was the problem. Chloe wiped her face. I know. Scarlett touched my arm. Can we leave? Yes. Outside. We walked silently until we reached the empty courtyard. Scarlett stopped. I need to ask something. Okay. If Chloe came to you tomorrow and offered everything you wanted before, what would you do? I studied her. She could say she loves you. She could ask to date you. She could become the girl you spent 3 years waiting for. Scarlett. Just answer. Her confidence had disappeared. For the first time, I saw fear behind her eyes. Would you still choose me? Weeks earlier, I might have hesitated. Not now. Yes. She blinked. That quickly. Yes. Why? Because Chloe wants the version of me who always waited. And me? I took her hand. You met me when I finally stopped waiting. Scarlett stared at our hands. You're sure? I'm sure. She smiled. So I win. I shook my head. This was never supposed to be a competition. Good. Why? She stepped closer. Because I don't want to win you from Chloe. Her fingers tightened around mine. I want you to choose me when nobody is watching. I smiled. Then I choose you. This time, saying it felt different. For 3 years, I had begged silently to be chosen. Now I finally understood something. The right person did not make affection feel like a prize I had to earn. And I no longer wanted someone simply because losing my attention had finally taught her its value. I returned to Sophia's apartment 3 days before graduation. The place looked completely different without music, laughter, and dozens of students filling every corner. Chloe stood beside the same balcony doors where Scarlett had been standing that night. You came. You said it was important. It is. I stayed near the doorway. Chloe gave a nervous laugh. You can sit down. I'm fine here. That sounds like you're preparing to escape. I'm listening. She looked around the empty room. Do you remember exactly where you were standing? At the party? Yes. Near the couch. And I was there. She pointed toward the center of the room. I thought I knew exactly what would happen. So did everyone. You were supposed to choose me. I know. I would have rejected you. I know that too. Her eyes lowered. I hate hearing you say it like that. How should I say it? I don't know. She took a slow breath. Ethan, I lied. About what? My feelings. I said nothing. She stepped closer. I did like you. The words I had wanted for 3 years finally arrived. They felt strangely late. How much? What? How much did you like me? She frowned. Does that matter? Yes. I thought about dating you. But you didn't. I wasn't ready. For me. For anything serious. I crossed my arms. Then why keep me close? Her eyes filled with shame. Because I liked knowing you were there. I almost laughed. At least you're honest now. I'm trying to be. Keep going. She nodded. You were always available. If I called, you answered. If I needed help, you came. If someone flirted with me, you got jealous, but you never left. So I started believing there was no hurry. My chest tightened. No hurry to do what? To choose. I stared at her. Chloe wiped beneath one eye. I thought I could date other people. Travel. Have fun. Figure myself out. And eventually, she stopped. Say it. I thought I could come back to you. The room became painfully quiet. You thought I would wait. Yes. For how long? I never thought about a number. Months. Maybe. Years. She looked away. I shook my head. I wasn't a person in your future, Chloe. I was a reservation. That isn't fair. It's exactly what you described. I cared about you. But not enough to choose me while I had choices too. I didn't think you wanted anyone else. That was convenient. I know. Her voice cracked. I know how horrible that sounds now. I looked toward the balcony. That night had felt like humiliation. Now it felt like an exit door I had been too afraid to open myself. Chloe whispered, Is Scarlett better than me? I looked back at her. No. She seemed surprised. No. This was never a competition between you and Scarlett. But you chose her. Yes. So there must be something she has that I don't. There is. Chloe stiffened. What? She met me after I started respecting myself. Her face fell. I continued. Scarlett never asked me to prove I deserved her attention. She never laughed at my feelings. She never expected me to remain available while she decided whether someone better might appear. I said I'm sorry. I know. I mean it. I know that too. Then why does it sound like you hate me? I don't hate you. Then forgive me. I already have. Hope appeared instantly in her eyes. I hated seeing it because I knew what came next. Does that mean? No. Her hope disappeared. Ethan, forgiving you doesn't mean restarting everything. I wouldn't treat you like that again. Maybe not. I've changed. I believe you can change. Then give me one chance. I can't. Because of Scarlett? Because of me. She stared at me. I spent years measuring my worth by whether you noticed me. I'm not going back to that version of myself. You wouldn't have to. I would remember it every day. Chloe began crying. I was going to choose you eventually. I closed my eyes. 1 year later, I returned to campus with Scarlett beside me. She looked up at the graduation banners and smiled. Feels strange. A little. You miss this place? I miss cheap coffee. That is the least romantic answer possible. You asked. Scarlett bumped my shoulder. Daniel's graduation celebration had brought us back for the weekend. A year earlier, I had left campus believing everything in my life was changing too quickly. I had been right, just not in the way I expected. Scarlett and I had not become some perfect couple overnight. Our first real argument happened 2 weeks after graduation. You canceled your interview for me? She had asked. You were sick. I had a cold. You needed help. I needed tissues, Ethan, not a personal servant. I remembered staring at her. I was trying to be supportive. No, you were disappearing again. That hurt. She softened immediately. I'm not Chloe. I know. Then stop acting like I'll leave if you don't make yourself useful every second. Nobody had ever said that to me. Scarlett taught me that love could include boundaries. I taught myself to believe her. Now she squeezed my hand. You disappeared into your head again. Good memories this time. About me? Mostly. Acceptable. We entered the celebration hall. Daniel spotted us immediately. There he is. I hugged him. Congratulations. Thanks. Scarlett, I'm shocked you kept him. Scarlett nodded seriously. It has been exhausting. I'm standing here. Daniel laughed. You two are disgusting. Jealous. Deeply. Sophia approached after Daniel was pulled away by his family. Ethan. Hey. She hugged Scarlett, then me. How's Chloe? I asked. Sophia studied me. You actually want to know? I wouldn't ask otherwise. She's better. I'm glad. She changed a lot after graduation. Scarlett smiled. Good. Sophia nodded. She stopped treating attention like proof that people valued her. She even apologized to a few people she hurt. That couldn't have been easy. It wasn't. And Ryan? Sophia laughed. Gone. Gone. Moved to California. Nobody really talks to him anymore. That sounds peaceful. It is. Sophia glanced toward the balcony. She's outside. I followed her eyes. Chloe stood alone. Scarlett noticed too. Go talk to her. You sure? She raised an eyebrow. Ethan, we've been together for a year. I know. And I trust you. I know. Then stop asking permission. I smiled. Yes, ma'am. Never call me that again. I walked toward the balcony. Chloe turned when the door opened. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she smiled. Hi. Hi. You look good. So do you. She laughed softly. That was painfully polite. I'm out of practice. With me? With awkward conversations. We looked across the campus. Chloe touched the balcony railing. Do you remember Sophia's party? Unfortunately. Right here. Pretty much. You chose Scarlett from across the room. I did. She looked at me. I've wanted to ask you something for months. Ask. Was it revenge? I knew exactly what she meant. I could have given her the comfortable answer. Instead, I told the truth. For a few seconds, yes. Her expression changed. I wanted to shock you. So you wanted me to feel rejected? Part of me did. She nodded slowly. I deserve that. I'm not saying you did. But I did. I was angry, Chloe. Scarlett happened to be standing there. That's romantic. I laughed. Don't tell her. Too late. Scarlett's voice came from behind me. I turned. She stood near the balcony door holding 2 drinks. How much did you hear? Enough to reconsider the relationship. Chloe laughed. It surprised me. Scarlett handed me a drink. I knew you picked me partly to annoy her. You did. Ethan, you looked terrified when I walked toward you. I was terrified. Chloe looked between us. I'm glad it became real. So am I, Scarlett said. Chloe looked at me again. I laughed that night because I thought you could never get someone like her. Scarlett frowned. Wow. Chloe raised her hands. I know. Horrible. I shook my head. That was my mistake too. What was? I believed it. Chloe stared at me. For years, I thought I had to earn the right to be chosen. Scarlett slipped her hand into mine. I continued. I thought if I did enough, waited long enough, helped enough, eventually somebody would decide I deserved love. Chloe's eyes became wet. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I know. Are we okay? I thought about it. Yes. Friends. Maybe someday. She smiled sadly. Fair. Daniel shouted from inside. Group photo. Now. Scarlett pulled my hand. Come on. I looked at Chloe. You coming? In a minute. Scarlett and I walked inside together. You handled that well, she said. I had practice. Should I be worried about this mysterious, maybe someday friendship? No. Good. Because I'm extremely jealous and unstable. I laughed. You're terrible. You chose me. I did. And I stopped walking. Scarlett looked back. And I'd choose you again. Her teasing expression softened. Good answer. As we joined Daniel, I glanced toward the balcony once. Not because I wanted Chloe back. I remembered the man I had been there. He thought winning the hottest girl in the room would prove something. He was wrong. Scarlett squeezed my hand. Ready? I smiled. Yeah. I finally understood my real victory. It was never making Chloe jealous. It was never proving I could get Scarlett. It was learning that love should not begin only after someone becomes afraid of losing you. This time, I chose someone who chose me too. And for the first time, that was enough. After the photo, Scarlett leaned against me. Happy. Very. With your life? I looked around at Daniel, Sophia, and the old hall where people had watched me chase someone unavailable. Then I looked at Scarlett. With myself. She smiled. That took you long enough. I'm a slow learner. No argument there. Healing started when I stopped asking other people to decide what I was worth.